Here we are. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Stories of Care's first ever Facebook Live question and answer session. My name's Oliver Sykes. I write and perform stories for children, which are often inspired by my own personal background growing up on a council estate and a single parent family on benefits. And I am the lead artist of Stories of Care, which is a dynamic and rebellious outreach and writing project based in Manchester and founded by the amazing comedian and care leaver and BAFTA award winner, Sophie Willan. But enough about us, this is about you. This is your opportunity to find out more about our upcoming children's writing and professional development programme before you apply. The deadline for which is this Sunday, the 6th of June. I'm going to be saying that quite a lot over the next half hour or so. Now, if you've been in touch in advance, then you'll have been sent an email with a Zoom meeting ID. If not, don't panic. You can watch the event on our Facebook page and interact via the comments box. So if you've got any questions, feel free to post them there. Now, I want to start by saying a huge thank you to our funders and our partners and our supporters, without whom this brilliant opportunity simply would not be able to happen. So a huge thank you to Arts Council England, to rebellious outreach writing project based in Manchester and founded by. I'm starting to get some feedback. Is everybody else getting that? There were sure to be some technical difficulties along the way. I think that is all sorted now. I was just saying thank you to all of our partners, funders and supporters. So thank you to Arts Council England, to the National Lotteries Community Fund, Trafford Council's Inclusive Neighbourhoods Fund, Boys and Girls of Greater Manchester, Buxton Amateur Boxing Club, Greater Manchester Hire. The list does go on, I'm afraid. Manchester Children's Book Festival, Manchester Metropolitan University, Moss Side Fire Station Boxing Club, Reform Radio, Stanley Grove Primary School in Longsight, Swiss Foster Care in Trafford, and Z Arts in Hume. Thank you to each and every one of you. Your support, expertise and commitment to making this project the very best it can be is vitally important and very much appreciated. Now, I'm joined by Stories of Care's young company members, Susie Hadaway, Beatrice Kabera and Toni Lampert, who've all been crucial to the planning of this project. Do you all want to say hello?
Hi.
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 Oh, Beatrice, I think Beatrice may have frozen.
Hi.
Hopefully, oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So Susie B and Toni are all former Stories of Care participants. So they're here to share their unique insights and to let you know what to expect as a participant in Stories of Care. So without further ado, onto the session. For the past week, we've been gathering questions from young people across Greater Manchester ahead of the deadline on Sunday, the 6th of June. I did say I was going to say that quite a lot. And the aim of this session is to answer all of those questions. So here we go. Question 1. What is it like being a Stories of Care participant? I'm going to hand you over to Beatrice. Beatrice is having technical difficulties. So let's hand you over to Susie. Susie, are you there? And we'll come back to B in just a moment.
Yeah, I'm here.
So the question was, what is it like being a Stories of Care participant? Can you sum up your experience being part of the first project? What was it like?
It was a fantastic opportunity. I mean, it's something that I wanted to do for quite some time. So when I heard about it, it was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, but I'd not done much writing since being at school, so it's kind of a bit. You know, it was a nervous time actually, but once I got to meet everyone in the group and we came together, we just gelled straight away. So it was kind of an easy process.
Great, okay, thank you very much. That sounds brilliant. And what about you, Toni?
I found it like a great experience. I found it quite therapeutic in a sense, because we kind of examined kind of situations from our past that we could kind of shape into like a children's story. So some of the events that children in care might go through, or just face in general. So I found it a really cool experience because it kind of made me look at different situations in a different way. So it was really cool experience to be part of.
Thank you very much. And Beatrice, you're back.
I'm back. I know, sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
That's
I just pressed the internet. Is it the question, what's it like being a Stories of Care participant? Are we still on that question?
That is the one.
Perfect. So being a participant is more special for this project because you have the opportunity to network with other care experienced young people who've gone through the similar system with you. And then through the project, you're able to explore different types of storytelling, and then you can kind of find your own style of it, and you're able to kind of explore them in a safe environment as well.
And I would also just add to that, but the idea of it, the idea of this project being slightly different is that the participants this time round get to work with all you three, people that have been through the project, are young company members, and they're going to be working with you, providing peer mentoring experience and helping to facilitate the workshops as well. So as well as having the dynamic cohort, the group that you're part of, you're also going to have 3 people that have been on this journey before who can give you guidance and help and encouragement along the way. Thank you very much. Question 2. Thank you to Sarah in Urmston for this next question. How does the writing programme work, and how does it help writers to get published? So the Stories of Care team have created a comprehensive Write As You Go curriculum, which we'll work through over the course of about 20 weeks. We'll guide you through the process of writing your first short story for children, giving you all the tools, support and encouragement you need along the way. And how does it help writers to get published? So once everybody has written their short story, which we're expecting to be around the end of October, start of November, there'll be a 6-month period there where the Stories of Care team will collaborate with our co-producer, Manchester Children's Book Festival, and we'll edit the stories, we'll build in the illustrations, and we'll see the book through production. And then once all of that's done, our second vibrant anthology of short stories for children will be published by Manchester Metropolitan University. Cool, hope that's all answered. 3, when does the writing programme take place? So from June to November 2021. So the 23rd of June being the first workshop, and with workshops taking place on Wednesday evenings at various spaces across Greater Manchester. Question 4, who is the writing programme aimed at? So we're looking for aspiring new writers aged 18 to 25 with bags of passion and ambition. We're looking for inspiring new writers who would relish the opportunity to develop the quality of their writing as well as their creative career. At Stories of Care, each project that we produce is inspired by the background, the personal background of the lead artist and of the creative team. So we're keen to ring fence this opportunity for young people who are ethnically and socio-economically underrepresented in the arts, with a particular focus on single parent, low income and care experienced young people. Question 5, what can young people expect to gain from being a participant? Beatrice, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, definitely. So as being a participant, you'll become more confident in writing, and then also meet like lifelong friends who can easily relate to some of the situations you might be going through or have gone through. So for example, as well, in terms of the long life friends, like I used to live with Toni years ago, and through this project we become closer. And then through this project also I was able to get involved in filming for Alma's Not Normal, which Sophie William wrote. So that's kind of helped me kind of kickstart my career in TV. And because without getting involved in the Stories of Care project last time, I don't think I would have been able to get involved in Alma's Not Normal to kickstart my career in TV.
Great, thank you. And Susie, do you have an answer for us on that?
I sure do. So, I mean, also it gets you out of, it might be a time or a place in your life where, you know, there's a lot going on. And this is a time where you can just go to an escape. The people that you are with, like being just said, are lifelong friends. So everyone that's there have all been through something and you've all got a story to tell. So, I mean, when you come away from it and you start writing and experiencing these feelings and, you know, you become really passionate about what it is that you're writing because it's your story that you're telling. I just think you'll just excel so much more. And, you know, like Beda said, these are different opportunities that you are getting, you know, given along the way. So it's not just about writing and becoming a children's writer. There's also other opportunities that, you know, then come also with this. So I think it's an amazing opportunity to be involved in. So yeah, I think you should really get involved, guys.
Thank you. And just to add to that, that Stories of Care, Story of Care's work does take place across TV, radio, and children's writing as well. So this is just one element of our work overall, just in case anybody wasn't aware of that. And Toni, the question again, just so that everybody has that in their head, is what can young people expect to gain from being a participant?
So I'm just going to echo what the other two said. So like Bea said, I've known Bea since I was probably about 17 years old, and we kind of lost touch, and then we built up a relationship again from being a part of Stories of Care. But I also met some really amazing people along the way. So for example, Susie, Ollie, and outside of that, we've managed to get involved in like different projects. But it's also allowed me to kind of gain confidence. I kind of sat back before the project and was like, I can't do certain things. When somebody came to me and said, oh, you're going to write a children's story, I was like, no, I'm not. I can't write a children's story. Like, I've got nothing worthy to say. But then when you sit and you think about the things that you've been through and how other people might go through that and kind of put a spin on it to make it magical and kind of entertain somebody else, it kind of gives you a new perspective. And I can do it. So I think for me, it's just that confidence to kind of step outside of your box and think it's okay to take a chance and just kind of leap forward and go for it.
Brilliant. Inspiring words there, Toni. Thank you very much. We'll move on to question 6. Thanks to Matthew from Sale for this next question. How much extra work do participants have to put in outside of the programme? So I would say around 2 to 3 hours a week would be great. So as well as working on your writing, as has been touched on by Susie, Bea and Toni there is this element of professional development. There will be tasks, there will be social events, there'll be networking events, and there'll also be showcase opportunities. So as with most things in life, the more you put into it, the more you will get out of it. But 2 to 3 hours a week, I think, would be ample. Question 7. Thanks to Stacey from Salford Keys for this next question. Is there a cost to individuals who participate in the programme? No, there is not. In fact, we pay for the travel expenses to and from workshops, and COVID-19 restrictions permitting, we'll also provide food at all workshops too. We'll also cover costs for social events. I think in the first project you went to watch Gangster Granny at the Lowry, the BFG at the Odeon. We went out for a couple meals and bonding sessions, so we're very eager to do that again, because those activities just really help bring the group together. Anybody want to say anything on that, or are you all good?
Yeah.
All good.
And you get to choose as well. Project to get involved. For example, if there's something that's happening, then you're like, oh, this will be a good project for us, or a good show for us to see, or it'll be a good time for us to see this film to help us with our project. We can also choose to go to that show or project or theatre performance.
For instance, for this next programme, I'm not sure whether or not the timings are going to work, because Cruella is currently at the cinema now, but that would have been such may still be a really brilliant chance to get out and have a social, but then also to explore an incredible antagonist, one of the greatest antagonists of children's fiction. And that story, from what I gather, gives the whole backstory to Cruella de Vil, the villain, which you don't get in 101 Dalmatians. So it'd be fascinating to watch that and then have a bit of a chat afterwards and work in some of the lessons of, and talk about our own antagonists after the fact, and work out whether or not there's things that we've learned from seeing that film and analysing it and applying that to our own work. So question 8, can it be a factual piece of writing, or does it have to be fiction? It does have to be fiction. One of the main goals of this project is to address the underrepresentation of marginalised young people in the arts. And one of the ways we do that is by empowering young people to tell their own stories for children, stories that are inspired by their experiences and fired by their imaginations. So in short, yes, it does need to be a piece of fiction. Question 9, how much writing experience do I need to have? Beatrice, do you want to jump in on that?
Yeah, so you don't need any writing experience at all. You just need to be passionate about storytelling. And then through the project, we'll work with you to tell that story and find your voice as well within that story, and in terms of what you want to be told and what kind of message you want to put out there.
Brilliant. Susie?
Yes. So I think people would be very surprised actually of how much people could, people are writers inside. We've all become writers, inspiring writers. And I think, at the beginning we was probably a bit unsure, or like I said at the beginning, I hadn't done much writing since school. So for me, it was quite a long, gap since writing and firing these imaginations. It's still there, and it always is going to be there. And I think once you get started, for me, I was traveling on public transport, and I was looking at people, like thinking about characters and like, where are these people going? What are they doing? And sometimes I'd even take a little book with me and write these little things down. So your imagination starts growing once you start getting into the swing of writing things. So you do, like Bea said, you don't have to have much experience. It's just about your imagination. And I think once you become passionate about it, it'll just start flowing.
Great, thank you, Susie. How about you, Toni?
Again, what the other two have just said, you can have all the experience in the world and be able to write like 25,000 pages, but I think it comes down to the story behind it. If you've got a story that you think could entertain or can spark people's imagination, then you'll be able to write it from the get-go.
Great, thank you. And just to add, next time we come around to a question, I might try and mix it up so that you don't always go third, Toni. Just to add to that as well, it is our pledge is to guide you through the writing processes and to help build your skills and confidence along the way. So you could come in with quite limited experience of writing. We do ask that you're passionate and that you want to be, that you want to be a writer. If it's something that you think that you could do, it might be something that you don't think you can do, but you still want to give it a go. We're all for people that are going to work hard and go through the process with us. So I'm going to add the deadline in again. I've said that I'm going to say it over and over. Sunday the 6th of June. So if you're liking what you're hearing, then please do think about submitting an application by this Sunday. Okay, question 10. When is the deadline for short stories to be written? This is a very quick one, end of October, start of November 2021. And again, we will guide you through that process. So don't hear October, November and suddenly freak out, because we will guide you through that process. Question 11, who is the children's anthology for? So it's for children aged 7 to 12. That's who we are writing these stories for. And we anticipate that the book is going to resonate with children from similar backgrounds to the writers, so low income, single parent and care experienced. And a big part of this project that's unique from the first project is that what we're hoping with this anthology is that we facilitate a discussion between these groups of young people. Also, just to add that 1,000 free copies of the anthology will be given to children from low-income, single-parent and care experience backgrounds via our partner organisations. We're very much about accessibility and bringing books to people that maybe can't afford them. So that is a big part of the project. It was a big part of the second project, and it worked so well, we're definitely doing that again. Okay, question 12. When will the children's anthology be published? So provisionally, February to March 2022. Question 13, is delivery of the writing programme dependent on COVID-19 restrictions being lifted? So the answer to that is no. We intend to deliver the programme in person in a COVID-safe environment with social distancing, everybody wearing masks when they come into a space, potentially maybe being able to take them off when they're at a desk in a socially distanced setting, and then putting them back on when they move around the space. with one-way systems, hand sanitizers and surface wipes, and everybody will be given a brief around their own responsibility and duty when it comes to COVID and the cleaning that is required. But if for any reason we cannot meet in person, if the next government announcement due on the 14th of June, if for any reason we have to move back, currently we're absolutely fine, but if we have to move back, we may have to look at delivering some sessions digitally via Zoom. And we will support all of our participants to make sure that they have everything they need to participate, so computers, access to the internet and access to Zoom. That is all of the questions I have. Beatrice, Toni and Susie, do we have any further questions from the comments on Facebook, or do you have any further questions?
There's one question that was sent in. It says, I have dyslexia. I'm unsure about applying. Should I apply, and how would the program support me? So if you have any kind of disability, especially dyslexia, where sometimes you might have like, what's the word? I forgot the word because of mine. I've got dyslexia as well. So that's probably one of the reasons. So if you have dyslexia, this writing project shouldn't stop you applying, because when I first started the project, I thought, oh, I've got dyslexia. I can't write. I might have issues with reading and putting the letters the wrong way around or the words the wrong way around. But I just wrote, and then later on down the line, then I fixed it. And we also have an editor at the end of it. So even if you wrote a sentence and the letter is just the wrong way around, the editor will fix it for you. And all you need to do is just be able to write, and then we can kind of sort out any composition later on. So that should stop you. And also we'll also support you in the sense, for example, if it's coloured paper that you want, if it's bigger writing, depending on what your disability is and how you'd like us to help and support you, we'll be able to help you personally.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. And if you do have any further questions around access and around support, you can contact our Youth Liaison Officer, Rhys Williams, at rhys.williams@storiesofcare.co.uk, and his email address is on our website as well. Any other questions, or is that, I think we have possibly knocked this one out of the park, if I'm being honest.
Sorry, Ollie, there was one more question. So the question was, what about the commitment? So, you know, some of the sessions that we have, you know, they're quite a lot to commit to, and some people might already have other things already planned there and stuff. That is absolutely fine, you know, as long as you have them conversation with myself, Ollie, Toni or Beatrice. You know, I don't see them being a problem if, you know, if there like was one or maybe two to be missed, but you know, that's something that we could discuss anyway.
Yeah, I think if people have pre-arranged plans as well, like they've booked a holiday in July and now they're suddenly like, oh God, I might as well not apply because it means I'm not going to get to go to Corfu or whatever. If it's a pre-arranged plan, I think that's something that we can be very understanding about, and we can try and work around that. It would be good to try and attend, you know, we want attendance to be sort of in the 90%, really. We don't want you to be missing lots of sessions. And the main reason for that is mainly we will provide notes if you miss a session, and we will provide potentially a PowerPoint or something that gives you, so you'll be able to catch up. But the other thing is that this workshop program, we have guest workshops from Sophie Willen and from Alex Wheatle and from Danielle Jawanda and from Dominic Berry. These are really brilliant writers. So the other thing is that we really don't want you to miss any sessions where possible, because it's just such a brilliant opportunity. Like, as a young person, to get to say that you were in a space with Sophie Willen being taught how to write is a really incredible and special privilege. So, you know, if it's that you've pre-arranged a holiday and you just can't happen to make that date, for instance, then we can be understanding. But once you're in the program, the more that you can commit, the better, the more you're going to get out of the project, I would say. Cool. Well, I think we're ready to wrap up. Thank you very much for joining us for our first ever Facebook Live question and answer session. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting and informative. And if you do have any further questions, you can put them on the comments box of the Facebook Live video, and a member of our team will answer those questions for you. You can also email me, oliver.sykes@storiesofcare.co.uk if you want to ask any other questions. Yeah, we hope to hear from you soon. Again, Sunday the 6th of June is the deadline, so please get your applications in before then. Thank you very much, and good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Have a nice evening. Bye.
See you later.